Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Students, in the previous three lectures, we have discussed what is cement, what are different types of cement, and how by changing the input chemicals, we can change the type of cement. Then we have discussed the machinery which is being used for the mining of raw materials for the cement industry. Then we have discussed different equipments which are being used in the cement industry like kiln, coolers, different like this equipments we have discussed. Then we have discussed that there are two processes by which we can prepare cement in industry. The first one was wet process and the second one was the dry process. In the wet process, we have discussed that we use slurry of raw material for the production of cement. Now, students, in today's lecture, we are going to discuss dry process. The process in which the raw material, limestone and clay, are ground in dry conditions. They are fined by crushing, grinding and then blending. It is passed to rotatory iron and heated to 1450 degrees centigrade. The hot clinker which is formed are cooled up to 100 degrees centigrade and then 5% gypsum is added. The final product is packed into 50 kg bags and stored in dry places. What it means, students, in this slide, he just summarized the dry process. He said that in dry process, we grind the raw material in dry condition and then crushed it, grind it and blend it to homogenize the raw material. After homogenizing, we pass it from the rotatory irons or kiln where we heat it up to 1450 degrees centigrade. When the clinker is formed, we cooled it up to 100 degrees centigrade. Then added 5% gypsum and grind it. Now your cement is prepared. Now it's turn to packed it and stored it in the dry places. Students, now we are going to discuss different processes which are involved in the dry process. And the first process is crushing process. Cement production process, a large part of raw material to be broken, such as limestone, clay, iron ore and coal. Limestone is larger particles because the production process the largest amount of raw materials mined after the high hardness, thus crushing the material like crushing limestone, cement play more important role. The primary and secondary crushing limestone broken into 20 mm stones used hammer crushing equipments, jaw and cone crusher and so on through the crusher. Students, he said that the crushing of raw material is very necessary. Different crushers we have used, those crushers convert the limestone or the clay, which are raw materials used for the cement industry, into the size of 20 mm stones by using different equipments like hammer crushing equipments, jaw crusher and cone crushers. Students, next process is homogenization. Dear students, homogenization is a process in which we convert the raw material particles into equal size particles so that we can process them for the production of cement. Now, in the dry process, homogenization is raw homogenization technology is in memory of raw materials, taking the process of applying scientific stickers reclaimer technology. Raw material preliminary homogenization, the raw material yard along with storage and homogenization function. Limestone storage use more elongated or round pre-homogenization yard. Clay or sand storage yards use more elongated automatic control stacker and reclaimer operations. Homogenizing affect composition and the stability, and to control the dust unorganized storage and homogenization process produce emission. And the next one is drying of raw material. The raw material is drying by heating and drying with dryer, rotatory drying equipments and suspension dryer, drying tar, rotatory dryer inside the temperature of about 700 degrees centigrade, the emission of about 1300 meter cube per time. Next process is meal grinding process. It is added between the preheaters and the clinker kiln and use of kiln flue rise. Set the fuel injected into the device so that the process of fuel combustion and exothermic process, raw carbonate decomposition. The decomposition furnace to the suspended and the fluidized states quickly, so that the decomposition rate of kiln feed is increased to 90 or more. The original task, decomposition of carbonate in the rotatory kiln, and moved to the decomposition furnace. Fuel from the calciner joined the majority, joined by the small part of kiln, reducing the heat load of kiln firing zone. Students, in the meal grinding process, the main purpose of this process is to decompose the carbonates. Next one is raw meal. Cement production process, raw material composition is stable pit entry, clinker burning, thermal stability of system under the premises of raw material homogenization system. Play a stable raw material composition, pit entry last at the gatekeeper role. So students, these were the two main processes which were meal grinding process. The main purpose of this process is to decompose the carbonates, and the raw meal process, here the clinker is burned by the thermal heating or the next one is clinker binding technology. Cement grinding is the final step in the cement manufacturing. Is also the most power process. Its main function is to cement clinker grinding to suitable size. A certain particle size distribution increasing a hydration area, accelerate the hydration rate to meet the cement paste clothing, hardening the requirements. Students, in the cement production, the final step is the grinding of cement. By the grinding, we control the size of cement, which will decide the hydration area for the cement. More the hydration area, more will be the strength of cement. So, the size of the cement particles is very important. So, at the end, the grinding is necessary for the cement particles. Next point is using compression crushing and impact crushing manners increased by 40%, grinding power consumption can be reduced by 10%. Cement grinding is about 1.5 times higher than the raw material grinding power consumption. Students, in this point, he explained that we use different crushers for the grinding, like compression crushing or impact crushing. He also said that the crushing of cement is about 1.5 times higher than the crushing of raw material. Students, here is the flow sheet diagram of dry process. Dear students, the difference between the flow sheet diagram of wet process and dry process is that in the wet process, we use the slurry of raw material which is fed into the kiln or the wet kiln. Now, here we don't use slurry of the raw material, we just grind the raw material in the solid form and process it for the next processes. So students, now we are going to discuss raw material flow sheet diagram for the dry process. You can see that here is the limestone and here is clay. Students, both are crushed. This is also crushed and fed into the fine grinding in ball mills or the tube mills. Here is also, this is fed into the fine grinding in ball mills and the tube mills. Students, here the particle size of the raw material is converted into the similar size and homogenized so that the raw material can be processed equally for all the particles. After the blending and the homogenization, these raw materials are fed into the storage basins. From these storage basins, both of these raw materials are fed into the correct mixing proportions, from where these are heated up to 800 degrees centigrade and different gases will be evaluated from here. After the heating, these were fed into the storage tank for the raw material, from where it is fed into the rotatory kiln. In the rotatory kiln, the different fuel is fed from the base of the kiln, where it is heated and then converted into the clinker. Here, after the heating, that raw material is converted into the clinker. Now, that clinker is grind with the different percentage of gypsum, like 2 to 3%. After the grinding, now clinker is converted into the cement. Now that cement is fed into the cement silos. After the cement silos, where the cement is cooled down and then fed into the packing section, where it is packed and shipped toward the different areas. So students, this was the flow sheet diagram of dry process. I'm going to explain it again. First of all, raw materials are crushed, then fed into the fine grinding ball mills, from where it is stored into the storage basins. From the storage basins, the correct proportion of both raw material is fed into the next chamber, from where it is fed into the preheaters, where it is heated up to 800 degrees centigrade, where different gases will be exhausted. Now, after the removal of gases, that raw material now is fed to the storage tank. From the storage tank, that raw material is fed into the dry kiln or the rotatory kiln. After the heating, that raw material is converted into the clinker. That clinker is then grinded with the 2% to 3% or 5% gypsum. Now your clinker is converted into the cement. Now that cement is fed into the cement silo, and after the cement silo, that is fed into the packing section, from where it is packed and then shipped toward the different areas of your country. Students, till now we have discussed in today's lecture the dry process, in which we have discussed different processes by which raw material is passed through and converted into the cement. After that, we have discussed the flow sheet diagram of the cement. Students, till now we have discussed both processes by which we can prepare is a very important source of energy. Now, and there are some safety measurements in the cement industry. So, So first of
By
all,
keeping its
cement is the
importance in
basic
mind,
material for the
it is
construction,
necessary
which
for
is
cement
made
industry
from a mixture of
to take
elements
care the
that are
health of
found in the
environment
natural
and
materials
its
such as
employees.
limestone, marl,
If it will
or
not
clay.
take care of the
Cement
health of
manufacturing
environment
is an
and its
energy and
employees, then it will be the
resource-intensive
main issue
process
for the
with
cement
both
industries.
local and global environmental, health
Students,
and the safety impacts. Because of these impacts, ensuring health and safe working conditions for the employees is one of the most significant issues for the cement industry. Occupational health and safety has become a public health majority in the industrialized countries
in
and
many
a
industrialized
primary concern,
countries,
especially
the
in the
occupational health
high-risk industries.
and
Cement
safety
manufacturing
has
is
become
one of
the
these
priority
industries.
of the workers.
Students,
In this
they
slide,
want safety
he just
and
explained that
occupational health.
cement is a
It is
basic
more
material for the
demanded
construction,
into the
which is
high-risk
made up
industries,
of limestone,
and cement
marl,
is that
or the
kind
clay.
of industry
These are the
where
three
the occupational
raw
health
materials
and the
for the
safety
cement.
is very important. If they will not take care of the occupational health and the health safety, so they will face different kinds of circumstances which will not be okay for the cement industry. Cement has been used commonly. Its health effects have become an important issue both for employees and the environment. Students, as you know that cement is most widely used in our world, so its health effects of employees and environment become more important. In addition to various health hazards, cement workers are especially exposed to dust which cause lung function impairment, chronic obstructive lung disease, restrictive lung disease, pneumoconiosis and carcinoma of lungs, stomach and colon at various production processes such as quarrying, crushing, raw material grinding, blending, kiln burning, cement grinding and packing in the cement industry. Students, he said that there are various health hazards of cement industry, but he said that the main and important hazard is that there is the exposure of dust to the employees, which produce different lung disease. This exposure is at the grinding place, at the raw material crushing place, at the kiln burning place, at the different places of working in the cement industry which expose the dust to the employees. And the last point is, therefore, ensuring the health and the safe working condition for the employees and the contractor is a fundamental key to cooperate the social responsibility and is one of the most important issue for the cement industry. Students, as we have discussed different health hazards of cement industry, so at the end we have concluded that the ensuring of health and safe working conditions for the employees is the most important responsibility of the cement industry. So, if a cement industry will maintain the cooperative and health friendly environment, then it will more progress and will get more cost for the cement. So students, these were the safety measurements in the cement industry in which we have discussed different hazards of health of cement industry, and then we have discussed at the end that we have concluded that it is necessary for the cement industries to give health friendly environment to the employees and the contractor which is a social responsibility. Students, next one is applications of cement. Cement is a very useful binding material in construction. The applications of cement over various fields of construction have made it very important civil engineering material. Students, he explained that cement is a very important binding material and also a very important civil engineering material due to its uses in the construction sites. Now, there are some functions of cement which are given below. First is, it is used in mortar for plastering, masonry work, pointing. It is used for making joints for drains and pipes. It is used for water tightness of structure. It is used in the concrete for laying floors, roofs, beams, stairs and pillars. It is used where a hard surface is required for the protection of exposed of surface of structure against the destructive agents of weather and certain organic or inorganic chemicals. Students, he explained that cement is used in the mortars, in the drains and pipes, and in the structure where the water tightness is necessary. It is also used in the floors, in the beams, in the stairs, and in the pillars. He also explained that the cement is used for the protection of different construction sites to save the sites from the exposure of different organic and inorganic attacks and also the weathering attacks. So students, these were the applications of cement. Now the next one is types of cement and its applications. Students, we have discussed in the first lecture different types of cement which we have made by changing the input chemicals. Now we are going to discuss those types and their applications. The first cement is hydrographic cement, and its application is it has highly workability and strength. Students, hydrographic cement has highly workability and strength. And the second one is colored cement. It has highly workability and strength, and it is used where the colored cement is required, like for the joining of tiles in the kitchens and in the bathrooms. Now, the next one is white cement. It is used for the architectural purpose such as precast, curtain, wall and facing panels. Pozzolanic cement, it is used in marine structures, sewage works and for laying concrete under the water such as bridges, piers and dams. Students, that pozzolanic cement is a very important cement which is used the structures which are built underwater, like it is used for the dams and for the bridges. And the next cement is high alumina cement. It is used where the concrete is subjected to high temperature, frost and the acidic conditions. Students, the construction where the acidic exposure is more to the construction, then we use the high alumina cement. Next one is air entraining cement. It is used to improve the workability and smaller water cement ratio and to improve the frost resistance of concrete. Next one is blast furnace slag cement. It is used in construction exposed to severe sulfate action by water and the soil in the place like canal linings, culverts, retaining walls and siphons. Next one is sulfate resisting cements. It is used for works economic consideration is predominant. Next one is rapid hardening cement. It is used in concrete where from work are removed at an early stage. Quick second cement is next cement. It is used when work is to be completed in very short period and concreting in static and running water. Lower heat cement. It is used in massive concrete constructions like gravity dams. So students, these were the different types of cement and these were the uses of the cement. Students, if you remember the first lecture, then there is no need to memorize these uses because after writing the name of the cement which we have discussed in the earlier lecture, then you can write the uses very easily without memorizing these types of application. So students, this was the last lecture of our cement industry in which we have discussed the dry process and different processes which are involved in the dry process. Then we have discussed the safety measurements in the cement industry. Then we have discussed the applications of the cement and the types of cement and its applications.